Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Carson.
And today we are watching Tokyo Revengers episode 3. What happened last time?
Last time, the boss, or the king, was challenged by the slave to a duel.
Yes. And we're excited to see that fight. And if you like this video, please make sure to like it. You can check out Uncuts on our Patreon and get a week ahead. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like what I said, where he's gonna try and rise through the gang, rise through the ranks, and to try and save the girl.
We also see a shot of someone, like, with glasses looking evil and, like, pushing...
Oh, we do?
This. So, like, maybe when he got pushed off from the first time, you fell down, your friend tries to help you up, you accidentally launch back in time 12 years ago.
He's a minivan. Jesus, what is this guy, a martial artist? What the fuck?
Dude.
Don't pull a knife, you fucking idiot. Do not. This is punk shit right now. He challenged him to a fight. You can't just pull a knife when your buddy starts to lose.
The past 12 years, you mean
since I was a baby. I've been running since I was born. His resolve is frightening. Weapons? He gets a knife then. This went from a fight club to a death match. Oh shit. Draken? Kenshin. Commander.
Now you just gotta follow him around forever.
Biker gang number 3.
As in actual, like, pedal bikes because you're a child.
Yeah. Mikey?
He's looking pretty cool.
清正、いつからそんなに偉くなったんだ。 総長に挨拶するときはその角度。はい。
お前、名前は？
花垣武道。
そっか、竹道。
え？竹道？マイキーがそう言うんだからそうだろ。竹道。え？
お前、本当に中学生？竹道、今日から俺の立ち。
Okay.
な。
え？
What is this, Berserk?
Griffith? And so, now you belong to me, Guts.
Do you mean it?
お前がこれの主催？
Beautiful blonde haired.
And from this day forward,
誰だお前。
Don't like those sound effects.
yeah, it's way more wet than it looks.
さて、帰ろっか。ケンチン。喧嘩賭博とかくだらない。
Why did you come here? They literally biked there. They literally biked there. How old are they? Are they
I think they're
like
all
20?
supposed to be in middle school, like all of the people there.
I don't think those guys were in middle school.
Oh, the two leaders? No, they're like older. Because you're the main character.
バカだよな。あいつら。ああ、でも、あいつらがバカ言ってんの、久しぶりに聞いたよ。
Like actually all hyped up for once, instead of just getting beaten down.
俺、清正君のこと誘うとした。え？だってよ、今のままじゃ俺ら一生奴隷だぜ。清正君やるしかねえだろ。
あっくん、一番仲間思いだったもんな。
ありがとな、竹道。お前が踏ん張ってくれたおかげで、俺らは奴隷から解放されたんだ。かっこよかったぜ。
よせよ、照れるわ。山岸、お前全然似てねえし、うっせえよ、竹道。佐野万次郎には何とか会うことができた。でもこの先どうしたらいいのかさっぱりわかんねえ。ってよく考えたら超むずくね。
Oh.
いたいた。え？遊ぼうよ、竹道。
What's the teacher?
めちゃくちゃや。この人、3年生の皆さん。なんすかこれ。
Who are these guys? How is this this clan? Is this gang this serious? Where like the teacher is afraid?
This is literally what is happening.
I think this is where the power fantasy comes in. Now he's just at the top and he has the luxury to do whatever the fuck he pleases. He can leave school if he wants to.
He's like, yeah.
Everyone's, oh dude, look at Takemichi, oh, they're pulling him out of school. There's someone that awesome, look at him, dude.
Yeah, a grown man just came in and beat up a bunch of 12-year-olds. He's so awesome, dude.
Everyone, there is a live shooter on this, like, it's, there's an intruder on campus at this moment. Oh boy.
じゃあ行こっか。
ちょっと待って。
誰？ひな。ごめん、今日立て込んでてさ。
Supposed to go on a date, you idiot. They're just like, damn.
It turns out the reason she was killed is because she was like an assassin badass going to kill the leader or
She's
something.
shaking. Yeah.
よその学校に勝手に入ってきて無理やり連れ去るなんて友達のすることじゃありません。金の竹道くん怪我してばっかり。もしそれがあなたたちのせいなら私が許しません。
あ？その手を離せ。何言ってんのか聞こえねえよ。
What does Big Man think of all this?
その手離せって言ってんだよ。バカ野郎。今度の俺は
Oh shit.
守るよって約束したかんな。てめえ誰に向かって口聞いてんだ。もう二度と譲れねえもんがあんだよ。は？二度と？
ああ、せっかくダチになれると思ったのに残念。さてどうやって敷いて？
一つだけ約束しろや。ヒナには絶対手出すなよ。
知らねえよ。なんてね。バカだな、滝道。女に手出すわけねえじゃん。
竹道、俺相手すごんだな。すみません。
You got balls, kid.
譲れねえもんがある。今時女にそれ言うやついねえぞ。昭和だな。
ごめん
してたぜ。
ごめんなさい。私勘違いしちゃって。
いいよ別に。
すいません。
好きなやつのために頑張るのはいいけど無茶しちゃダメ。相手が相手なら大変なことになっちゃうよ。
はい。ひな行くね。
デートは
今度でいいよ。せっかくお友達が遊びに来てくれた。
Oh, and she lets him have friends?
バイバイ。
Not all girlfriends let the
Wow.
guys have friends.
いい子じゃん。めったにいねえよ、あんな子。大事にしてやれよ。
And that was the moment I started to like this show. He's pedaling for him. Yeah, make no mistake, this is a gang. Like, that's the problem with gangs, is there's like brotherhood, they're like normal people, kinda. They're like kinda fucked up a lot of the times, but...
なんで俺のことなんか気に入ったんすか。
くったらねえ質問。
すいません。
今って不良が出せって言われる時代だろ。
そっか。この頃からそんな風に言わ。
兄貴の時代はさ、この辺りにもすっげえ数の暴走族がいてさ、その辺を直感コール鳴らして走ってた。みんな肩肘張ってさ、自分のケツは自分で拭いて。そんな奴らがなんで出せんだ。だから俺が不良の時代を作ってやる。お前もついてこい。俺はお前が気に入った花垣武道。
喧嘩強えやつなんていくらでもいいんだよ。でもな、譲れねえもんのためならどんなやつにでも盾つける。お前みたいなやつはそういねえ。考えとけよ、竹道。祭りにトラックで突っ込んで関係のないヒナを殺しちまうような。
Well, a lot can happen in 12 years.
こんな組織のボスでは絶対にない。
Maybe not the high school version of him, or however old he is. What changed
Oh,
him?
dude,
Oh,
dude, are you
shit.
not paying attention? You're supposed to stop two people from meeting, and
That's clearly him.
it's, you can tell he's got
Except
the
with a
same
really-
glasses,
And
even
the same whack-ass haircut. Except even worse. And the same
no,
weird
they're gonna
scowl.
meet right now, and then once he does it, he can never.
なんかどっかで見たことあるような。
You had one job.
So that episode was way better. That to me, so here's why this changed for me. Cause okay, so I initially, my initial thing is I like Mikey. If that's actually his name. If we don't have bad subs, hopefully that's actually his name. Mikey. He's fucking cool as shit. He's immediately cool as shit. Just his design is badass. But he comes off way too much like a scuffed Captain Levi. Like, they're trying to fill that same hole. But he turns out, like, just, like, the immediate thing as he's introduced, it seems like, is just to wow you with how cool he is. Mm-hmm. And then whenever I run into stuff like that, or like with this power fantasy thing that we keep coming back to, I'm okay if they're just trying to create a feeling in me as the audience of, wouldn't it be cool to go back in time and do all this stuff again? Wouldn't it be cool to be friends with like the coolest motherfucker on the block and like be inundated in like the highest tier of this gang? Wouldn't it be cool to like have that power over people? That feeling is okay if you go somewhere with it, if it's not just that. But if his entire character, if Mikey here, for example, was just, if that's all he was supposed to be, and he was just going to be that diehard badass to the end, then I feel like that's pretty hollow. But I can see that they're doing something more with this character. I can see that, like, he wasn't just going to be like, so how do you want to die? And that's kind of in this super edgy thing. But instead, he gets the respect for standing up for himself. Like, it goes in a cool direction. It goes in a less edgy, like, out of this world, this would not happen a million years in real life type situation. It grounds itself in, what am I gonna do? Beat the shit out of your girlfriend? This is a middle school. What am I doing here? I'm leaving. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it takes that turn to where it's just a little bit more believable and just a little bit more, like, understandable and not just off the wall because it's an anime. That's what I like, and that's what it's. They grounded it just enough for me to like it, and they gave me what I wanted in regards to Hina, where she's actually a character now. Like, they gave her that extra scene and that extra thing where she put her foot down when it mattered, and it gave us a glimpse into an actual form of character for her. Mm-hmm. So I like that. I like that we can actually see some kind of decision being made and some choices being made on part of the character, and that's what I like to see. The character actually did a thing, not just was a waifu on screen for 3 episodes. She made a choice, she stood up for what she believed in, she has beliefs, she has things that she genuinely cares about, and she's willing to do shit to defend that. That's what I like to see. That's character. That's what I like. And it was at that moment that I began to like the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this episode was the best so far. I'm honestly finding myself wishing that I wish there wasn't even the time travel aspect.
Same.
Like, at all.
Same.
Like, I wish that just didn't exist, and it was just this kid. Like, it was just the same story, just without that aspect, and we just, however the story ends up unfolding, we just watch that happen. Instead of, oh no, the main girl's gonna die. And by the way, this guy was a loser 25-year-old, so now you can really kind of relate to him, and it's like this isekai time travel thing, but the stakes aren't quite there until you actually just end up liking how the story was going without all that. Like, I feel like
it seems like that was the initial
holding me, like, it was the hook, but then it was also holding me back because
that wasn't as good as an actual character. That wasn't as good as actual relationship.
As actually just making me like the main character, who is a middle schooler and involved in all this like crazy shit, and it also like, I'm finding myself as we go along getting more immersed and just like letting my suspension of disbelief is happening. But I think because we started in just like, he's a normal guy doing his normal life, and then we just jump back into middle school and it's fucking out of control. I feel like there was a disconnect there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm liking it now, but I just wish that didn't even exist. Like,
if it started this episode,
I know.
What if the show started this episode?
I'm imagining, like, what if, we don't know what's gonna happen, obviously, but we know that in the original timeline, Hina died. But what if we just like went through this entire fucking story and then she died at the end or some shit? You know what I mean? Like, he like got involved in all this gangs and stuff, and then she got run down by that truck and that crazy. You know what I mean? Like, to me, knowing that, oh no, if something goes wrong, that's what's gonna happen, doesn't add anything to the story for me. What is adding to the story for me is building the world that we're in. And
building the relationships with these characters. Like, the two guys I introduced this episode, cool as shit. Initially cool as shit, but kind of hollow feeling. But then when they actually are put to the test of, are they just going to be douchebags? Or are they going to, like, actually, you know, compromise their own badassery for the sake of this new guy that they kind of are interested in, or this girl that, like, he seems to be with? Like, they had to make a compromise of their own pride, and they happily did it. Because the point is, the story is building these characters rather than just trying to hook you with a cool premise. Yeah. You know?
And I also feel like one of the other reasons I don't like the time travel thing is I think, like, why can't he just be why can't he just be himself in this timeline?
It's the isekai problem.
It's the problem of, he doesn't need to be a 25-year-old time traveler. He could have just been himself at this age, and it would have, like, made it less weird because he's still 25, but, like, at this point, like, during this episode, at no point other than at the very end did I like you could have just forgotten it. You could have forgotten the fact that
I kind of did.
Like, I almost did, and then at the end it was like, oh yeah, the main plot that we hooked you with. And I'm just feeling like it almost seems like a shame because it would be.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Don't get too carried away with that. We don't know because the show is that. So saying like, oh well, I just don't want, like, you know, you're gonna be like literally slicing your enjoyment of the show in half if you immediately declare that you don't like literally what the show's about. So careful. But I agree. I can't help but agree. I can't help but think. But then it's also like, do I want just a show about a middle schooler becoming a gang member to save his girlfriend? Is that what I want?
But it wouldn't be to save his girlfriend. It would be because he was getting the shit beat out of him, and then now he's found some cool guys.
True.
And they're like leading him on a path to like a new future for delinquents. Or whatever he was saying.
So that's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's not exactly. So exactly, because it's more of, now it's about his own.
I was getting on board when it's about
his personal confidence and journey, right? Yeah. When it's about that rather than, oh, I need to save this girl who you don't know, audience, but she's gonna die. So care about that. What I am more interested in is his confidence and his growth as a character. How will this change him? Will he just get involved with gangs and then now he's just a gang boy now? Is it? He's just a gangster?
Like, is this thing of like, oh, he was getting, like, there's some really bad parts about gangs, but also like he found a home there.
It's very Sons of Anarchy in that way. You know, that's exactly what Sons of Anarchy is about.
That's what I'm saying when I'm saying I don't like the time travel aspect, because like that is like what I really like. When I started to like it is when I'm like, oh, this is him, like a new
becoming a person,
like stepping into his journey,
not running away.
And I don't think any of that other stuff like enhances that journey.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know what I mean? That's where I'm like, this is the story that I want to see. Yeah. And the other stuff was fine, but not as good as this.
Again, going back to, I talked about last episode about the publishing dilemma, about like writing a manga to be published. It seemed like just a guess, again, I don't know, but it seems to me like this story was created, like the premise and the plot were like, okay, what's a good premise that I can write like a good long-running or mid to long-running shonen about? Okay, gangs, but it's gotta have a good hook, it's gotta have a good premise. Let's throw in some time travel.
And then they just watched Erased, and then they were like, that's it.
But no, like, it seems like the premise was created before the actual characters. Like, it seems like, okay, just brainstorming here. Okay, time travel, throwing on all these things. Okay, let's start writing it. All right, now I'm going down this path of the time travel, and that's what's really cool. Okay, now that I can sell the first volume, or the first chapter, the pilot chapter, now let's get into writing some actual characters and fill out the story. And then what you fill out the story with is, I predict, will be way better It's already way better, but I predict over the course of the story, if you have this strong of character writing this early on, especially with these designs, they're really good designs. If you have this strong character writing early on, is that going to outpace like the interest in the plot? In which case, like, how is it going to change? Will the story change to fit? Will the plot change to fit the story, or will the story be sort of kneecapped to remain within the on the rails of the plot continuing? That's what'll be interesting to see. Will we spend more time on the characters, and will the plot change to fit that, or are we going to neuter character growth and development in order to stay on the rails of the plot that's been planned out with, you know, whatever, however long they need to plan out these stories in advance. It'll be really cool to see, but all that to say, I like it way more. I hope that I get more of the stuff that I like. I hope that we see more characters that I like. I hope that we get a good story out of this, because this is starting to turn into something good.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you're still here, please leave a like. It really helps us out. And if you want to go and check out our next episode or the uncut of this one, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/BOLDcast, and check that out. Let's say goodbye.
Get out of here. Bye.